I met my daughter, whom I never knew existed, and I told her the truth about why I wasn't part of her life. Now everyone from her mother's side of the family is calling me selfish. Am I wrong here? To start, my ex and I were 19 when she got pregnant. We had recently broke up and she found out a couple weeks later that she was pregnant. She said she planned to not have the baby but only wanted her sister there. So I was always under the belief that she had aborted. She only contacted me once saying it was done and we didn't speak again. Fast forward 19 years later, I found out a month ago that was a lie. My ex passed away 3 years ago and my daughter Kara has been living with her uncle. He was the one to reach out to give me a heads up after she expressed an interest in wanting us to connect. He and I spoke at length because I was feeling some pretty strong emotions like rage for never being told about her. My ex had backed out of the abortion but didn't want me involved because we were broken up, so decided just not to tell me. But he told me that Kara doesn't know about that. Apparently I wasn't ready for fatherhood because we were both young, so I bailed. I couldn't believe it. Rob, her uncle, told me he knows his sister was wrong for that but promised Kara doesn't have any negative feelings towards me, and my ex never painted me as some villain, just a young guy who knew he couldn't properly care for her. He asked me not to tell Kara this when we talk if she asks, and because it could hurt the way she saw her mom. I never actually confirmed I would. Kara messaged me and we've been talking. I've met her twice and it's been crazy emotional. Looking at this girl who looks just like me and hurting that we're just barely getting to know each other. So far our conversations have only been about what her life was like, how my life is, what her wants and future goals are, and getting to know each other. We met again Tuesday and she finally decided to ask the obvious questions about what made me not be involved. How did I feel, what went through my mind, did I ever think about her, etc. I had been thinking about what to do, but in that moment I just didn't have it in me to lie, so I was honest. That I was told about the abortion, had no idea she even existed until now, but that I still really want to be in her life and have the chance to be her father if she wants that. Kara was a bit emotional, we talked some more, and said she still wants me involved. That night my messages were blowing up. Not just from Rob but her grandparents as well. They're all outraged for telling Kara about her mom because she yelled at all of them and is refusing to even take their calls. Yes, the lie was terrible, but I just ruined the image she had of her late mother for my own benefit. Rob called me a selfish dick for not taking into consideration how this would affect Kara finding out about this. So right now I feel like shit. I get, honesty is the best policy, but in this case I don't know if I was an asshole for doing it. I'm still learning this whole, dad, business, so don't know if I dropped the ball here. Relevant comments. NTA. How terrible for both you and your daughter. You didn't ruin the image of her mom, you told her the truth. Her mom decided not to abort her and must have loved her immensely. As for the whole family cover-up, she has every right to be mad. She missed out on 19 years with you because of it. I have to ask though, is there a reason why mom didn't want you in the daughter's life then? Was it a bad breakup? It seems like something is missing here. Opie, bad breakup. We were both just two immature teens who weren't clicking as a couple. I can't say how things might have been if I'd known she kept Kara all those years ago, but I never would have stayed out of my daughter's life. That much I know for sure. Comment. NTA. The people who lied to her for her entire life are to blame for her being upset at the lies. You are not obligated to take the heat for the lies of others. I do hope you are planning on staying in her life now. It would be shitty to drop that info and disappear, but if you stick around she deserves to know the truth so that your newly found connection isn't built on a lie from the start. Opie, I intend to be in her life. It makes me very sad that I already missed out on so much and I want the opportunity to build something with her. It would be awful to just leave when there's finally a chance to be her father. Comment. I think you are a raging asshole to tell her about the abortion. Especially considering her mother is dead and she can't confirm with her that she was always loved and wanted once she came along. You could have told her that you were never told she existed, which is also still the truth. What you did was selfish and self-serving. Really disgusted, to be honest. You didn't do that for your daughter's benefit. Major asshole. Opie, Kara's family and her mother had already told her that I was fully aware of the pregnancy, so how would it have been possible to tell her I simply didn't know of her existence? That still would have been a lie, and she told me she wanted to know the full truth as she's been wondering about it for years. Lying is what I was trying to avoid. Update. I made this post a couple months back and I wanted to share what's been going on. This was a really big mess and thank you for all your reassurance. For telling me that Kara deserved to know the truth. There was still some guilt I carried with me for days until she called me again now that she had time to process. Kara thanked me for being honest about what happened and we had a deep conversation about what she's going through. She and her mom always had a very strained relationship even until she passed away, so there was still a lot of anger and resentment she never got to have closure for. Now learning this new lie her mom told her about me, well, it opened a lot of other mixed feelings. She has been in therapy even before her mother died to deal with their issues, so Kara is working this out with someone, which I am happy to know. Many of you were suggesting therapy for her, so at least she already had that down. My daughter's still mad at her family, she talked to them a couple times before stopping communication. Kara knows she'll forgive them eventually. But for right now, she says she wants them to live with the consequences, so hasn't had any contact with them. I did express my concern over her shutting them out, but she says it's not forever. She's still trying to process this betrayal and get to a place where she'll accept them back into her life. At the moment she's still living with her friend and wants to keep things that way. So far has declined any financial help I offer. She just wants to work out her anger and let them sit with this a while. I had to do some blocking still for my own peace of mind. Things are a work in progress, but I'm happy to report that we're getting along fine. Kara's been over so many times and has met my fiancé. We're learning so much about each other, even if sometimes it's hard not to get emotional over childhood memories she talks about, knowing I couldn't be there for them. Still in the process of finding a therapist myself, because this has been pretty heavy on me too, and still have no idea what the hell I am doing as a parent. Thanks for your words of encouragement and all the advice from fellow parents. I kept getting asked for an update on this, so sorry I took me a while to remember to post something.